and welcome to another Total Toy Recon review. So, we were able to find the Shadow Trooper on Black Friday, but we figured we'd wait till about Star Wars was gonna, the new Star Wars film was gonna come out before we cracked into this figure. First of all, we have to say, it's an amazing package. Look at this package. This is the kind of thing that Star Wars fans want. In case you hadn't noticed, it doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of just the Rise of Skywalker figures. It looks as if Hasbro has shifted gear and is going into the full vintage collection wave. For one, I would have said a couple of months ago, that was like, well, maybe there's one or two guys that I wanted to get. I don't really want to pay the extra price. However, on Triple Force Friday, I picked up Zori Bliss, and she is a vintage collection figure. I love this figure. This is amazing. Zori Bliss has turned me around into the vintage Star Wars collection figures. And now I'm actually hunting down all the ones that have been on sale on Amazon, on Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store. You can get them for absolutely nothing now. After they're out of their in vogue and the next wave comes out, they're everywhere. And if you're troop building with stormtroopers or any other kind of figure that they're doing, it's worth getting into. So, like this one, this was a Father's Day special Han Solo Target exclusive. However, he's only Han Solo if you take the helmet off. Until that moment, he's just another stormtrooper. These bad boys were going for $10 or less. You're picking up a troop building stormtrooper and you're getting more and more figures. And yeah, you might some Hans and stuff. That's great. It's a nice gift to give somebody. But if you wanted to get more stormtroopers and build out that army, build out your worlds and your play sets, that was the way to do it. So I'm not gonna stop posing him, and let's get to the review, because I picked up this the Black Trooper, Shadow Trooper, and it's tough because I think it's an awesome looking figure. The way the package is, the way it's laid out, it's very old school. X-Wing, Sith Trooper, Sith Jet Trooper. We got a Knight of Ren here, Rey. The Jawa figure is amazing. It's so good. I don't need another Poe Dameron. Luke is easy to find. Poe Dameron is easy to find. Rey, not so much. I've yet to see Leia. I have not seen Leia yet. But Zori Bliss, have not seen her since Force Friday, the first day. Had a friend send me Knight of Ren from Seattle. I'm in Philadelphia, so that was a big deal. And then I swear to God, a week later, I found 10 of them at a Walmart. So I guess everybody got one at that point. So let's open this, because this package is awesome. I mean, I gotta say, this is tough. This is really tough. This is a cool figure. So it's really a cool figure. So I got it on sale. Open it up. This is tough. There it is. It's torn. Coming out of the package. It's out of the plastic coffin. Oh, God, I can't believe I just did that. So, and I'll throw this card away. Hey, toys should live outside of their boxes. I think my biggest regret is when a toy sucks. And when it sucks or it breaks, then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I opened that. It could have just stayed in the package forever. So let's try to do an instant pose here. Now, I don't use a stand. I don't believe in stands. If they come with a stand, I'll do it. But up until that moment, I'd like to see what it can do on its own. So I do have a curved surface, which does not help this process. But, ooh, this leg joint here, this ball joint in the leg, very thin. Don't care for that. And I'm noticing a slight difference here. Let's bring Han back in. So this is a Shadow Trooper. Look at the Shadow Trooper's leg. So we're going to zoom in here. Look at the Shadow Trooper's leg. So this is not just a repaint, but the Shadow Trooper has almost a covering over his ankle, where Han does not. So that's interesting. So if we look at these boots, and then we change our focus. It's very hard to focus on the Shadow Trooper because of the black character that he is. But yeah, the belts are slightly different, just a little bit backwards almost. No, they're pretty close. A little bit thinner. Yeah, very close. But it makes sense that they would repurpose this, but do Shadow Troopers. But so we got a little bit extra. So I'd say the legs are the only thing that are really different. So let's go with the hand here. Let's see how we go. I hope we can zoom in here on his face a little bit. So let's keep it close for this one, because it's really dark, and actually all this light And looking at it, you can see how the iris of my camera is all over the place. So he does have a trigger finger. So let's get this in here now. I like that the eyes are silver. Now we're going to zoom in on the eyes. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but they are silver. And we do have some silver here. That's very cool. So I love that they made him like a sergeant and give him the extra pads. So I'm going to bring, let me focus in. Now this is a standard Rogue One Stormtrooper. So he doesn't have as many points of articulation. But as you can see, they added this cheap version of adding just armor. And it's nice because it can, like, you know, explode off or change off or something. But it also gives you a chance, if you troop build, all of a sudden now you can do this. And then you've got an extra trooper where you could just leave all these off, and then you could do a whole bunch of guys, you know, in a row, standing there, all at it, you know, waiting for the Emperor to come in, without blasters, of course. Why would they have blasters? So let's see if we can pose him. I never even did the pose, so let's do the pose. So, and he's got nice extra guns, but no holster. Han, at least that Han trooper had a holster, but that was very much in the style of the movie figure that he was based on. I wouldn't say the concept. So there he is. So now we're going to zoom in on him. So solid figure. I think a stand is required to do a slightly better pose, but he's very dark. And the Shadow Troopers are very cool. I actually have a Shadow Clone Trooper in a sideshow collectible. So that thing's massive. So we're not going to bring that on camera right now. But this is very nice. So let's zoom out here a little bit, and then let's try the bigger gun. Now, this is very much in the style of the gun that was used by the Sand Troopers on Tatooine in A New Hope. So, not really loving it. Might be for the other hand. So, I'm just trying to... It's like, how do you pose this? How do you make him look real? And that's what I love about these toys. You got to make them look like they're really in that world and they're standing there. So he stands very well. So let's zoom in again. So that's a solid pose right there. I think it's a cool figure. It may be one of the coolest packages that they've done in a while. And I think that's because of the green. The green just really made it pop. I'm going to look for more of these at Best Buy. I have a feeling like this figure is not going to go flying off the shelf because though it's in canon, it's not in the movie. It's kind of like the Space Trooper. He's there for like, even the Space Trooper is in the movie, but he's so small you can barely see him. But they still made one for him. So what I like to do is I also like to put in a little bit of a comparison here. So let's see. Here we have a standard. All right, we're signing up. We're lining up the final pose here, trying to get everybody to be in some sort of decent pose. And then we have just a standard Stormtrooper. So the Shadow Trooper does have a lot of bells and whistles. He is very, very cool. Sorry, this is kind of off to the side here, but you know what? We'll put Zori Bliss over there to balance out the shot. The Shadow Trooper is solid. Definitely worth picking up. Found one at Best Buy on Black Friday. I haven't really seen one since. This is late December, mid-December. So he's probably still out there. He's just one you're going to have to stumble across. But I expect to see a lot more of him once the rest of the Rise of Skywalker figures start showing up. I think he'll be much easier to find. So thank you for tuning in to Total Toy Recall. This is our review of the Shadow Trooper. I recommend one to buy and one to keep in the pack. It is an awesome packaging job. Thank you, Hasbro.